Up, everybody? Hope you guys' garden's going good. I've been watching, but I've been stupid busy. I see you guys out there. I just want to go over some things, kind of like the pet peeves thing that I encounter while I work here. And everybody's got their own thing. Like if you're a waitress, you got things that, irk you or whatever. If you're a cook at a restaurant, you got things that irk you that, customers do. Um, so I want to go over, a little bit of a list of things that'll happen in here that can kind of grind my gears. So let's get into it. We got a sign up front. It says no public bathroom. Uh, People still come in. I kind of say you got like a little kid or something. Yeah, all right. If you're a really good customer, yeah, all right. But we got just random people running up in here, and there's a diner right over here. There's another diner right down here, and neither one is more than 100 feet away from each other, and they're like 50 feet from the store. Why don't you go there? And why do you got to come up in the hydro store randomly? Not even a customer, right? They don't even grow. And they're coming up in here, they got to use the bathroom, even though the sign says no public restroom. Another one would be, I got a list up here, by the way. Well, you sold it, so you should warranty it. If you look on, like, the little pamphlet that Sunlight Supply gives, or like Hydro Farm or wherever you bought your ballast, if you bought it in the store. Usually on the back it says underneath the warranty that like if you got to return it or something like that, you should RMA it, not bring it back and expect you to walk out with another ballast. That's written right on that little information thing. A lot of them I know specifically for Sunlight Supply. Up in the back, there's even RMA info to RMA it without even coming here. And so what's even better is if you do it that way, or if we do it, they email you a UPS sticker. You can use any box you want, any brown box. It doesn't matter if you got it from Wild Bill's Tobacco or something, anything on that box, it doesn't matter. You just put your gear inside of it that's broke, that you're RMAing back. You put your RMA sheet in there that you filled out. You slap the sticker on, tape it shut. You can call UPS. They'll come to your house for free and pick it up and take it away. If you don't like that idea, you can take it to a UPS store or have someone take it to a UPS store, drop it off. They'll take it, no charge. The sticker's already paid for. Everything's already paid for. They'll take it and send it back. You notify the company that, hey, I just sent this in. They should know because they got the tracking number already up on the sticker, so they already have it for reference. So they'll know the instant it gets sent back. They're ready for it. Once it gets in there, they'll repair it and they'll send your stuff back. Either that or they will advise the store to hand one out and they'll send one here. But you can't do anything before that. That's the rules. That's how this works. Conversely, if you blow up a lamp, like if I see like the arc tubes like worn to shit and I haven't seen you for like a month, and you come in with that bulb and you want to return it because it's defect, no. You had it for a whole month and you ran it. You messed it up somehow. Something, with your electrical or your ballast, or you didn't screw it in far enough, or you screwed it in too hard. Something like that happened for it to go bad. I can't just, flip you another $100 lamp like that every time it blows up. The discount thing. I get a ton of people to come in and they'll be like, yo, the store down the street, they give me like 20% off. You've been with that store for a while, you shop there a lot? Yeah! That's why you get 20% there. You come in here maybe once a month, if that, for like one bottle of thing, 1 quart, or like a gallon bottle. I can't justify 20% off. We give 10% off for card holders, which a majority of the people out here are card holders, so they get the 10% off. Half the time, I don't even ask. I just give you the 10% anyhow. And you gotta spend. That's how it works. This is a relationship here. This isn't Kmart or McDonald's. I understand that part. Everything's negotiable. But at the same time, if you've only came in here maybe once or twice and not at all, and you tell me about 20%, chances are I'm going to tell you to go to that place because I don't know you. You haven't invested in my store. You haven't become a patron yet. It costs money to pay me. It costs money to keep the lights on, to put nutrients on the shelves. And so if we're not making money in some way, none of all that stuff can happen. If none of all that stuff happens, I don't have a job, and that's how it goes. Um, can I get that poster, man? If you tell me, hey, do you have any posters laying around that you don't want? Oh yeah, maybe I do. In fact, got one right here, and I got 3 others. You want them? To all yours. And that one though, that one's staying. If anybody's getting it, it's gonna be me. The only way I'm probably gonna get it is if they send us a new one or the store closes. Otherwise, I'm not even getting it. See, the bug thing with leaves. Cool. What bug thing with leaves? I need details. And this goes for like plant problems and everything. Details. I'm not there in your garden. Um, I don't know what's going on. I can't see your plants like you can in your head. You got a vision of it, and you know how your plants are messed up or whatever. You know what the bugs look like, but you might not be able to explain it just off the top of your head in such a detail that I'm gonna understand what's going on. Or at the other extreme, don't come in here with like a Ziploc baggie with a branch with leaves, and there's like a whole bunch of spider mites just making up a community going on. Don't don't bring that in the store, dude. That's a no bueno. You bring that in here, I'm gonna feel like I gotta clean myself with Mr. Clean for about a couple hours, and then clean the whole store with Mr. Clean for a couple hours, fumigate the whole place, get rid of all the plants, because I'm scared now. If any customers in the joint, they're probably going to run away and not come back for months because of you. Don't bring in a baggie with a little stem and a leaf or whatever, a little branch that's full of spider mites. Don't do that. Don't bring in a nug. Think about that. Don't bring in a nug. You bring in a nug, you're asking for it. Uh, Not by me, but sometimes I don't know who these people are that come in, and that might get you in a whole bunch of trouble. Um, let's see. Uh, Bring in used equipment with stuff still on it. So what does that mean? I've had people come in with ballast and they got like leaves on it and stuff, or reflectors that are just coated with resin. Right, the glass is just coated with the shit. Uh, or like there's all kinds of nasty shit on a reflector and stuff like that, or you just a whole bunch of crap that's still on there, like it's not clean. We don't buy used gear to begin with. We even got a sign for it. But I mean, if you're gonna bring it in, at least bring it in clean. I mean, that's a whole lot more tempting than bringing in some dirty ass shit. Um, let's see. What's the best soil? Why? And then you buy a totally different bag. I don't know if you're trying to test me, or if you just wanted the opinion, but you were still going to buy the other stuff. But if you say that straightforward, I can kind of compare it, or at least I understand what you're thinking, and I don't feel like, oh, I'm probably going to have to order some more of that shit. We only got one bag, and I start writing it down. Oh, he's about to get this, so I better write this down that we got to restock. You don't buy it, or sometimes I might feel like my time's being wasted on a bad day. Uh, People walk in 1 minute before close and stay, and they bust your balls and buy $5 of stuff. I'm just saying. I mean, if you got a lot of questions, I can understand, but just the same, if we close it like we just closed at 8 o'clock, I'm here doing this. I had a dude come in at 7:50. He wanted Dynagrow Bloom. He loves it, but he says like at the bottom, like a whole bunch of shit will settle and it'll fall out and turn into chunks of salt. And so we deduced that it's because his room's too warm and it's cooking. And so I didn't mind answering that question because that's very beneficial to him and me. So if he can prevent his stuff from going bad, he's going to be able to use it all. And since I helped him figure out why it's going bad, chances are he's going to come here more often. I like that. But if you come in here and you talk for like 2 hours, I'm going to start getting irritated because I still got to go home and eat. I still got to take care of my plants. I got my own laundry to do. I sit here for 10 hours. I got stuff to do. Let's see. Not to mention, if you come in and spend $5 and you spend like an hour here, I've effectively made more than the store did in that hour. That's not good. That's stuff my boss would kick me for. Uh, Campers. That's people who come in because they've never seen a store like this. And I can understand that. Uh, and they stay for hours chatting up, and then they'll leave. If you come in to a hydro shop or a grow shop and you've never been into one of these places before, go ahead and say so. Like, this is my first time in here. You mind if I take a look around? Yeah, go ahead, dude. Check it all out. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Just the same, don't. If I get more customers coming in, I got to take care of them. They're buying stuff. That's my job, is to give advice, and then first, I got to ring people up. I got to sell nutrients. I got to sell gear. That's why we're here. We're here to sell stuff. Uh, so with that in mind, don't follow me around as I'm helping someone. I mean, you can hear me from here or while you look at stuff. Uh, it weirds other customers out. It weirds me out. So, the first time, I understand that. Just be cool. Uh, Off-duty cops that buy brewing stuff that makes no sense, and you know why they're there. We've had it came clear as day after a minute, and especially when they left and I saw the license plate on the back of the car. We had a guy come in. He bought some General Organics, and then he went and got a 5-gallon bucket and said he was going to do hydroponics. And so, like, that GO2 part, that's not really going to work great in your DWC. Oh, that's all right. And then after that, he went and bought a heat mat, and then he bought some cocoa. What? It's a little bit of the order how they carry themselves. And some undercovers are really good at it, but especially in this case, I'm like, everybody knows. But thank you for shopping here. The samples thing. I got a guy that comes in every week, and he won't buy anything. He never buys anything. Even like his first few trips, he'd never buy not so much as a scalpel or a little pipette. But he'll always ask for samples. And so we've gotten to the point where we tell him no, because we have a finite amount of samples. And I can understand helping someone out that's like having a hard time or whatever, or they're just starting out. I want to give them a little hookup. It's one thing, but if you come in here every week, you don't buy anything and you just ask for samples, especially if you push me hard about samples. Oh, come on, man. That's really, really annoying, because those samples I want to give to people who are trying to, expand their grow. Or maybe someone buys a light package. I'm pretty apt to give them something like this, a little starter 3-part. If I know they spent their last few dimes, they've been saving up to get that light package, that 1,000-watt package, and they've just spent their ass on it, and I'll be back, next week for nutrients. Here, let me start. Yeah, that I can totally justify giving some, helping someone out, getting them going. It sucks to buy a whole light package and then you gotta wait. You bought all your gear, you got your bucket, or you got your soil and all that and everything, but you don't have the money for nutrients this week. I'm gonna try to hook you up there, and I'm hoping that I got something here that I feel that you're gonna be able to use with comfort and ease, especially if you're new. That's what I want from you. I want you to use something that's easy to use. You might have a different idea of what is going to be the best nutrient. That's a big thing. But if you genuinely start with something that's easy to use, easy to run, you're going to have success. And first and foremost, this is a whole learning experience for you. We learn through trial and error, but at the same time, if your first grow is in some way successful, I mean, you get through bloom and you harvest, that I call that successful. I mean, I'm not talking about like yields yet, but if you can make it through a whole run and you haven't killed the plants and you've got something off them, I call that success. And from there, you've gone through the whole process from start to finish, and now you kind of understand how everything works a little bit better. Then we can explore different avenues. But for now, using something that's nice and easy to use, that should be, first and foremost on your list. Jumping into 12 bottles, that's a cool, sale for me. But if you get frustrated because you start using stuff when you shouldn't use it, or you try to band-aid a problem and you make it worse because of that, chances are you're going to think that stuff's garbage, or you're going to think I'm giving you BS info, or you might even just give up on the whole thing as a whole. I've had people bring their nutrients back unopened because they gave up and they want to get a return on some cash, which we also don't do. We got a couple signs all through the store that says no cash refunds. If you haven't left the store and realize you messed up, yeah, sure, that's cool. But if you go home and I see you a week later and you bring it back and you want cash, probably not happening. If it's like $2 or $3 on exchange, yeah, I can do that. So stuff like that. Let's see. And don't take it the wrong way. The closet grower that knows everything, and he or she is the guru. I'm not here to compete with you. I'm glad you're having success. I don't care if you're the big dick. I really don't. Um, if you're having success, that's good. It means that you're gonna buy more stuff here. You're having less problems, so you're just gonna come in here, buy your stuff, and take off. It makes my day easier. Not to say I hate questions, but at the same time, if you come in here, buy your stuff, and have a great one, that's stupid easy for me. I like that. That means I get more time to fool around or clean the store or take cuttings or pot stuff. I get to do the fun part of this job more often. Um, and not everything. What you do isn't always the greatest. What I do isn't the greatest. There's no real greatest other than doing good in this hobby. There's a lot of ways people go about going from start to finish or doing something in particular, and that doesn't mean that one way is the wrong way and your way is the right way. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. That's how it works. Conversely, unless I actually mess up, if you correct me, that's pretty assholeish, dude. Moving on. It's hard to talk about that one without feeling like I'm going to offend someone. If you think you're rocking, right on. If you really are rocking, even better. Unruly kids. We got stuff in here like the 35% H2O2, the peroxide. I've had kids come in and grab it. That's dangerous. No, that's an oxidant that could burn your skin, oxidize your skin. And kids coming around knocking over 20-pound things that could hurt them. Grabbing on the reflectors. I had a kid that tried to hang. He grabbed one of the reflectors and tried to, swing from it. That chain that's hooked up to the rafters, that's not going to support his weight. That's dangerous, and he's wreaking havoc in the story. They're grabbing plants and breaking them and stuff, and you know what I mean? um, this one's kind of touchy. I call it kindergartners. It's people who want you to hold their hand through the whole thing. Um, and it's one of those things again where I don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time, a lot of your success is going to be coming from your personal learning experiences. There's a lot to learn on forums. There's a lot to learn here from the information we have, or maybe from me. But just the same, there's a lot of stuff that I want you to try out for yourself. I want you to experiment. Nearly everybody finds their way in this hobby from experimentation and from failure and fixing that failure. Something won't work right, and when you figure out why it didn't work right, that's a whole lot more valuable than me guiding you the whole way through. I don't mind it, but you're not going to grow as a grower. You're not going to become more knowledgeable if I have to do this the whole way for you. So definitely experiment. That's what this is all about. I didn't get here and I didn't get through school from simply following the sheet or following what was in the instruction manual. I learned and got better from experimentation, taking risks, taking chances. I think it's even in Jorge's Ultimate Grow DVD. He even tells you, hey, something might work better for you, so don't always take my advice. Try some things out for yourself once in a while. It's true. Suppliers being out of stock of that one thing you need that week, and then I get the heat for it. What we were trying to get one week, Mighty Wash. Sunlight Supply was completely out of the gallons. All we had was the quarts, and it seemed like everybody was coming in that week for that specific thing for the gallon of Mighty Wash, and we could not get it. We even called the other stores, and they were out, and so nobody had it, and we couldn't get it because the distributor didn't have it. And so when customers come in, oh, sorry, we don't have it in. The distributor seems to be out of them right now. The customer doesn't care, and I don't totally blame you because you're trying to fix a problem. You're trying to get rid of those mites, but I can't do anything about it. I have to wait until they get in stock so that I can order it and then sell it to you. It always seems at the worst time too. Uh, the other thing is, a lot of cases, like the Fox Farm soil in particular, that stuff flies off my shelf. And hold on, before I get too wrapped up here, I should clock my boss out. Cash out. That's another part of this. You're an accountant and a cashier. We also get a swivel chair. Moving on. The Fox Farm soils, right? By no stretch, that our most popular selling soil compared to anything. We sell more Fox Farm, Happy Frog, and Ocean Forest than we do Sunshine Number 4, Pro Mix, Cocoa, all this stuff. That stuff flies off the shelf quicker than anything else in the world. And it probably sells more than any nutrients that we sell. It's just stupid popular. And so I'm looking right over at it. There'll be times that people come in and they'll buy like a dozen bags at a time, either all of one or a mix or something like that. And then there'll be other times where I'll only sell 2 or 3 during the week. But then all of a sudden the guy just buys a ton of them. And then someone will come in and we're completely out. And what am I supposed to tell them? No, leave one there. Don't buy them all. That's crazy talk. Some things are just sporadic like that. Some things it's hard to predict. We try to keep a ton of it on hand, but sometimes the big guys will come in and just clean it out because they didn't call ahead to try to put in an order, and they'll just come in and grab it all, and I can't stop them from buying it. And so it kind of sucks, but that's how it works. Nervous Nancy's that are only comfortable when it's just them in the store. And someone else comes in, they get skittish like a cat. I guess this kind of ties in with some of the guys that, or girls, that they don't go to brick and mortar stores because they're afraid that, there's going to be a cop outside or something like that. Or things of that nature. Or there might be an undercover inside. Truth be told, there could be one no matter where you go. If you come in and you want to talk about your plants, you can do that. You just can't, just don't come up here, hey, I got some weed plants, bro, and this is what's happened to my weed. It's really good weed, by the way. It's this kind of weed, and I have 5 of them. That's not something you should do to begin with. They call it shop etiquette. There's lingo. You don't. If you say plants, I know what you're gonna talk. I know what you mean. If you're really growing tomatoes or hydrangeas or a lotus, chances are you're going to be one of those people that are passionate about that, and you're really going to talk about that and be so specific about those things that I know for sure that you're not talking about cannabis. There's no doubt about it. From the way you talk and the way you act and everything, I know that you're talking about actual like veggies or flowers. But in general, if you're talking about cannabis, just say plants, my plants. The plants. The plants are doing this. I know what you're talking about. I connect the dots there. There people come in all the time and talk about their plants. Don't be too worried if there's another guy buying some shit. He doesn't really care. He doesn't give a shit about your plants. He's worried about his nutrients. He's worried about how much he's going to pay for them. And he's worried about how his plants are going to react to said nutrients. And probably if he can get some samples out of me. Come in and treat it like McDonald's. And perhaps not be so frilly about your language. Again, use shop etiquette. And just do your thing. Nobody here is especially if you live in like a medical or recreational legal state, and nobody's really here to bother you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're in a medical state, what are they gonna do? If you got your card, you're golden. You take your shit home, whatever. Um, Conversely, my personal favorite is if you, cause we got like the parking lots right out here, right out on the other side of the store, because I'm like right, the window's right here. Uh, we got like this parking lot right here, but it's a plaza, so it stretches down the whole way. We have people that park all the way down the other end, and their excuse is, well, I didn't want to park in front of the store, so if the cops are coming by, they don't see my car here and get my plate number. Um, if they're driving by, like just swooping by, they're not looking. They're not really paying attention. Um, Added bonus to that is we got a diner next door, and people park in my spots all fucking day. I mean, I don't tell them because I'm not gonna be the dick. But if that were the case, a whole bunch of people from that diner would have their cars gone, and yet somehow their cars are still here when they get back. There's no cop, there's no ticket waiting for them. So the other thing is, if they are watching it, that means they're posted up, and you carrying your stuff 100 feet to your car, that's more suspicious than if you're parked out in front and travel 15 feet and throw it in the trunk. You're quicker to get it in and be gone if you park nearby. A lot of stores even have like a back door, like a bay, where they do deliveries. And if you're skittish about it, you can even ask, "Hey, can you put it out back for me?" And I'll just grab it. Cool. Moving on. People will pay in tens or fives for like a $500 order. Ha! That means at the end of the day, when I'm counting out, I have to count each and every one of those. And since they're such small bills, I'm gonna have to count it 2 or 3 times to make sure I got it accurate. Um, Stop at the gas station or something, or the bank, whatever, and try to get some bigger bills, please. I mean, I like ones and fives because those go quick, but that big of an order, please have some 20s, maybe some 50s. Is that hard to ask? Um, when I'm taking that to the bank, it looks kind of funny. Um, let's see, moving on. Uh, Magnetic ballast buyers believe that they're doing it right, and it's not that they're doing it wrong, but they believe their way is the only way. Each one has its own benefits. I'm not going to get into that debate. I don't care if it works. It works. The cheaper ones, I will say that you can have it. I'll say the Alibaba ones. You do run a higher risk of RF interference, and there have been cases where you got people who do ham radio out of their home or whatever, and they can tell when there's interference going on. And a lot of times, if you have a cheaper end ballast that has bad MOSFETs, little components, they'll give off RF interference, and they'll screw up their signal. And they've got an RF meter that they'll walk around like, they'll just be walking up and down the neighborhood, and when they get to your house, that needle's going to go right to the right, with like a 10. And they know it's coming from that house, and they're going to knock on your door, or they're going to call the FCC. Hopefully he came to your door and not the FCC. Free t-shirts come from vendors. And there's a whole bunch of smalls and a whole bunch of double X's. I know there's big people and small people. I'm not hating on you guys, but I'm not one of them. I'm an XL large guy, large XL. I look out on some shirts, like my Hortilux one here. I really like it. But oftentimes there's t-shirts the reps will send us. I can't even wear them. I mean, I give them out to customers, especially ones that use that line of nutrient. But sometimes I like to rep some of the stuff that we sell too. So I'd like shirts that fit me, please. Let's see. People that come in blazed, like you're just high as shit, right? You provide me with all the comedic relief I need. I'm not saying everybody that comes in blazed is one of these people, but I had a guy who came in earlier this week. He wanted to pack Clonex, and so it totaled out to $5.30, after tax. Puts 30 cents on the counter, and I haven't touched anything, right? And I'm like, you got a 5 on you? He's like, didn't I put a 5 down? Haven't touched anything, bro. Oh, digs in his pocket. Oh, hey, there's the 5. Puts on counter. Okay, cool. 5:30. Give him his receipt. He starts walking off. Uh, cell phone and your keys are there. He grabs his cell phone, starts walking off. I'm like, what about your keys? Oh, you're my funny moment for the rest of the day. Not trying to be mean, but it is pretty funny. Conversely, say there is an undercover cop inside the store, whether I know about it or I do, I can't say, hey, that guy's undercover. He's gonna look at you pretty good now. He's gonna watch you and maybe even follow you. Not to mention, you're 20 times more liable to forget crap if you come in here blazed. You don't want to make a second trip. I don't like making second trips, and nobody does. Um, let's see. When customers throw the receipt back at me like it's the plague, like it's going to incriminate them. Uh, if you wouldn't like your receipt, let me know ahead of time. Just not print one out. Not to mention, if you make me print out the receipt and I throw it away, that's waste. I have to pay for that paper, and it's a tree that I'm wasting. Um, on top of that, it might be valuable to keep track of your costs. Does that mean that you keep that receipt indefinitely? No, but it's cool to compare it to the last few receipts that you've had to see what your costs have been over the last few months, and then get rid of them. That way, you can decide whether you should be buying quarts, gallons, or 2.5 gallons. You know what would be the most cost effective for me. Uh, let's see. Uh, asking for garbage bags for each individual bag of soil they buy when they buy more than, like, say 5 or 6 cubes. Like, especially if you're buying like 6 bags of Fox Farm and you want one bag for each one of them. That's killing my trash bags. I use those for trash. Uh, if you're buying 6 cubes of Sunshine or Pro Mix, no. At that point, you're driving. I hope you're driving an SUV, because if you're driving a truck, it ain't gonna matter. That shit's gonna be flapping. Um, if you want trash bags for your stuff, hit the dollar store. Uh, when you I can understand when it happens sometimes. If you stare at the receipt and you can't believe how much something costs, and you saw what the price tag, everything tagged individually, every bottle has a price tag on it. Yeah, it really did cost that much. You bought a lot of stuff. Um, when people come in and ask for cuts or seeds, you got any clones? Nope. Don't get mad at me when I say no. That's just a good policy for me to stay out of jail. I don't like jail. I'm sure you don't like it either. And if I get too casual and maybe say yes, who's to say I'll still be here? It's just a no. Don't ask me for him. It's be understanding about that. I don't understand why people will get uptight about it, but just don't, please. Um, people argue over showing me ID for their credit cards. It's happened. It's happened a few times where people will come in with a card that they've stolen or taken. It's still stolen, or like say they grabbed their spouses or their moms or girlfriends or boyfriends' credit card and they've just gone and spent it, and then later on they dispute the transaction, and if it's successful, I have to cough that money back up, even though you still got the stuff. It kind of bites me in the butt, and it's a pain in the ass to get the $30 back. So yes, I'm going to check your ID, especially if the back of the card's not signed. I'm checking that ID. Other stores do it. People steal shit. This isn't Kmart. This isn't Walmart. I don't have 500 bottles of nutrients that I can sell at, like, buy at stupid low cost, because I think I mentioned in the past, everything here price wise for wholesale cost is driven by volume. If I buy 1 to 10, it's one price. If I buy 11 to 20, it's a lower cost, and so on and so on. There's not many stores out there that are going to carry 100 quarts of Pure Blend Pro Soil Grow to get it to a stupid low price. When you steal a bottle from here, that really kicks us in the nuts. That really does. I'd rather you come up here and try to haggle with me, and I try to find a way to work it out for you. In that case, I'd probably give you a sample bottle of stuff that you need or a comparable product. I'm going to try my best to get you going, but please just don't steal, dude. Um, don't, because I'm going to remember that you stole it. I mean, we got a lot of cameras in here. And when you come in next time, I'm going to shut the door and lock it on you. You're not coming in my store. Simply put, and I'm calling the cops. I'll leave you. You know what? I'll let you come in the store and wander around, and I'll bullshit with you until the cops get here. So I want to remember your face. Just don't steal. This, especially is like bad juju to steal from a place like this, because this isn't Kmart, Walmart. This isn't corporate greed America right here. This is a store ran by growers. I'm one of you guys. I'm not the dick. I'm not the asshole. I'm not the man. Just don't steal from me. That's like stealing from your friend. You might not see me as a friend, but I'm a hell of a lot more of a friend than the guy at McDonald's is, or the guy at Kmart is. I'm trying to help you and look out for you and give you the very best advice that I can possibly give. And I spend hours here researching new products, and then you guys take from me. Not saying you guys, but that's the pain I feel. I believe that's it. Other than that, I love this job. This is the greatest industry in the whole wide world to work in. I would take this type of industry work over anything else in the world. I'd rather work here than sit on my ass winning the lottery. Winning the lottery would be great, but I'd still work here. To be completely honest, if I won the lottery, I'd change a lot of stuff in the store and make it amazing. I'd still work here because I love this industry. I love this job. I love helping you guys. I love talking to sales reps and finding things out, testing new products out for you guys. When we get new stuff in, I'm excited. And I want to test it out immediately so that when one of the growers comes in and I know they're using something that might be comparable, but this stuff is better, I'm excited to tell you this shit is great and it costs less and it works better. And here's X, Y, Z, Y. I'm excited about the stuff. It's a very fun industry to work in. It's kind of like the tattoo industry in that aspect, where it's not on the mainstream road. I don't have to wear a tie. I'm wearing pretty much like basketball shorts and a t-shirt and a hat. I can have facial hair. I can have however much ink on me I want. I don't got a whole lot. I get some. I can have earpieces. Whatever. It's very relaxed here. It's a very nice job. I get to do what I love, and if you're a grower and you got some skills with, counting money, and you can add, subtract, and do clerical work like that, and do some inventory work, or one of those people that has the aptitude to do something like this, this might be a dream job for you. It's a whole lot of work, especially on delivery days, dealing with customers, but bar none, I get to come in every day and I get to garden. I get to talk to other people about gardening. I get 8-year-old kids that are in the Boy Scouts and they want to get their merit badge, and so I hook them up. I'll give them stuff straight up. I won't even make them buy anything. I'm hooking them up, because in general, gardening as a whole is very important, and it's a large part of how this country was founded was on farming and gardening. It's also independence from buying food. You can grow your own food. And so to instill that into someone young is very rewarding. It's some huge soul food. That's a lot of karma there. And it's equally rewarding when they come back time and time again. They've already got their merit badge, but they're hooked to gardening. And there's a ton of crap that kids could be getting into. I like video games. I play video games, but if I could garden a little bit more and play a little bit less video game, I like that a whole lot more. If I can get a kid, especially in these days, to be outside more often instead of sitting at the computer or at the game console, that's huge to me. Kids don't go out enough, in my opinion, anymore. We used to stay out. Obviously, if you're over the the age of 20 for sure, or especially like in your 30s and on, you've probably one of those people that you were out to the street lights came on or something, or when your parents would yell for you to get your butt home. That's that's how kids should grow, in my opinion. You should be out playing and staying active and healthy. Um, so stuff like that's very rewarding. I've got like old hippies that come in and they'll tell me about how the laws have changed, the whole aura, the acceptance of the plant itself, and that's very cool. It's very cool to have someone that's like 60 come in and tell me about the whole crusade, the whole fight that they've been through, along with everyone of their era came in and they can't believe how much things have changed. Um, and they talk about how they garden, the techniques they use, and there's a whole lot of hidden gems. That's buried treasure right there, and it really behooves someone to open up their ears and listen to all that super awesome, advice. Um, they do some crazy stuff, but a lot of that crazy stuff really works, and it really works well. Um, and in general, they're some of the most chillest, coolest people in the world. Um, I got like a 68-year-old granny that comes in and she grows like 10-foot monsters outside. And it's unbelievable how cool she is. I mean, not just because she grows, but just as a person, she's very chill. She's very cool. And, she does it and she does it very well. And I'd be damned before I let anybody tell her she was doing it wrong and tell them they need to get out. You gotta respect them. So there's a ton of stuff like that that's very, very cool. Um, the the people that work in this industry can be some of the very most helpful and nicest and sincere people. Um, a majority of the sales reps from the companies, they're not here to necessarily push product. I mean, that's their job, is to help their product, move really well. And from my personal experience, excuse me, the Botanicare guy is very cool. He's by far, like, compared to all the reps, and by no means are the rest crappy, but he visits my store the most. He we have each other's cell phone numbers, and he'll call me up and talk to me. I see him at every event that I go to. He stops and checks in on the store. He throws us the most free samples out of any company ever, and I very much appreciate that. And so for that, I try to push this stuff hard, and not in an assholeish way. Don't take that the wrong way. I've been in stores where the guy says, if you're not using this bottle, you're doing it wrong. By no means. But if someone is using Botanicare, I will ask them if they've used Kind. Have they used the Grow Willet that just came out? Have you heard about it? Um, I'm more apt to promote their products, I should say, instead of push hard. I'm more apt to promote his stuff and say this is a great product because I know he has my back. If something goes wrong with one of these bottles, like if something's bad, I know that he'll be out there that very day with a replacement one. Or if someone's having a trouble, dialing something in, or they can't really get the hang of a particular bottle of nutrient and I can't help them figure it out, I know I can call him up and he's going to explain it to them. He's going to take time out of his day to this customer he won't ever meet, that's only spent around like $16. He'll spend like an hour talking to them, either on the phone or in person, to help them out. And not only does that make the grower happy, it makes me very happy because they didn't just hear it from the sales guy, they heard it from the actual rep. They broke it down, and he doesn't BS people. You can tell from the way he talks, he's very genuine. So when he comes in, he hangs out. Um, we'll get food or whatever. And so I think by and large, the people in this industry are amazing people. When you go into your grow shop, if they're if they're nice people, try to be very kind to them because they'll take care of you. Um, there's been plenty of times I've had really, really nice customers that they might not necessarily have spent a lot of money. Some have, but the way they come in, they're very nice to me. And so there's been times like a guy just didn't have the money for what he needed pH down. Um, I just gave it to him because he's been such a good customer. He's treated me so well, treated the store very well, that I feel that's a good investment I can make on him. I know he's going to come back and he's going to continue to be a really great customer. And so if I can help him out a little bit, I know that later down the line he's going to help me out. And so that plays a huge, huge part of this industry. The more you help me, the more I'm going to help you, and I'm more than happy to help you. This is stretched on for quite a while. So I'm going to get going because it's starting to get dark out, and it's been about like 30 minutes or something. What's the video at? 44 minutes. I gotta get home. I gotta eat dinner. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.